And just to let y'all know, I'm the only one in the home while I've been telling this story. The man was sleeping outside in the car with a woman when I first got here, and he likes to go and do that. So when I noticed that he was not inside, I decided that I would get up and tell what's going on because of the visions of God, his presence with me, God pouring out his spirit upon me. So I'm telling, James stood in front of me with the 4-5, and he said, "Don't you say another word," and he had the gun cocked to shoot me if I continued to tell what they were doing and what was really going on in the house. And then his mother, Beverly Raoul, and his brother Dominic came to the door, but it was locked. And then Beverly Raoul was like, "I ain't with this shit. Nah, I ain't with this shit," because she was involved with the staging the altercations and trying to have me arrested. They were trying to make it seem like I would be causing a disturbance in their home while they were trying to stage altercations. And then have me arrested and brought back to the jail where they would murder me, where they were trying to murder me at first before I could even get the evidence out about what the hell has been going on. And the black people was over there trying to help. So Beverly was over there like, "Nah, I ain't with this. Nah, I ain't with you shooting her up in my house." She was with him trying to have me arrested to be murdered, but she was not with or having me murdered outside of her home somewhere, but she was not with him shooting me dead right there in her house. So she was like, "Nah, I ain't with this." She was like, "Nah, I ain't with that bullshit." And she was outside the door trying to get him to open the door. And his brother, Dominic, was right there. And he went and opened up the door. And his brother was like, "Who the hell you think you finna shoot?" Because he knew it was wrong. He knew the plot and the plan. But he was like, "Nah, bro, you can't do it like that. You can't just shoot her up in mama house." And then he was like, and he wasn't even living there, but he had been coming over there to stage altercations and try to be a false witness and everything. So he was like, "Now you like you think you finna shoot?" He was like, "Nah, who you think you finna shoot?" And then so he all of a sudden supposedly calmed down, and I continued to tell, "What y'all doing up in here is wrong." And he trying to tell his mama, "Well, she all out, and I'm trying to help you keep your apartment." And that was all some bull. That was some bullshit. And I said, "But you ain't have to pull no gun out on me." I said, "So you had to pull a gun on me?" He said, "I ain't pointed at you." I said, "I don't care, but you cocked it." And that signifies that if I didn't stop telling what was going on, you was going to shoot me. And I'm in there pregnant. And I heard he was like, "I grabbed your suitcase." I said, "No, I got it." Because I had my suitcase and I was packing my bag when he pulled the gun. And I took my suitcase up out of there. And when I did, I started yelling when I went down the steps. And I was like, "You doing all of this? You gonna pull out a gun on a pregnant woman because all these women out here jealous of me and you can't stand by my side?" And I didn't know just how deeply he was involved until we got to the Wilcox, because I did leave and call Harris County Police. And James came to the door to shoot me, and his parents, his mother and his brother and his sisters was all holding him back, and he had the gun in his hand, and he was trying to come after me with the gun, and he was in the doorway, and they was holding him back. And I was screaming and yelling, and I was telling the neighbors, they up here trying to murder me because I shot a man over my white baby daddy, and I said because they tried to murder me in the Montgomery County Jail and I'm pregnant. I said y'all should go up there and beat his ass, but they was involved too. And I didn't know just how much they was involved. And then so I left and I screamed and I said, "I'm coming back with the Harris County Police. Y'all not gonna get away with this." So I went and called the police because I was scared to call the police because even HPD had been trying to stage an arrest to have me murdered. So I was scared to call them, but I sat over there praying to Jehovah, and I was like, I'm gonna call them because they're not gonna keep doing this to me in their houses. So I went on ahead and called the police, and I had the videos because the camera was still on when all of this was taking place. And then when I got on the 911 operator, and there was black men swarming around me to come try to pick me up with the suitcase. But I was on the phone with 911, and when a black man picked me up and he had my suitcase and he took me to a nearby restaurant, and then I told them I would wait for the police right there because they had went and bought guns. Dominic and James went and bought guns, and that was the same gun that James bought to the hotel the night that he met me. I was with the young gay man, and he was setting me up and brought me to the Kroger with some black women where they were setting me up, and they were trying to keep me from buying food to keep my belly from showing. And he was seeing that I was buying food from Taco Cabana, and he set it up for James and them. They set it up for James and them to call me to get me to come be with him so he could try to take me in his house and starve me. And then try to have me, really not necessarily try to starve me, but try to keep me from going into labor, and then try to have me arrested for something so they could go ahead and take me to the jail and murder me. So I didn't know all of this was really going on because these people were trying to pretend like they loved me and they was my friends. So James, when I went to the hotel with him that night, he had pulled the gun out of his bag when he was getting out of my car. And I said, why do you have a gun? Because I knew people was trying to kill me. That's why I was staying to myself in my rental car and in my room by myself. And I wouldn't let the young gay man stay in my room because he was having black men coming to my hotel, and I told him he got to go because I knew he was on something else. And then he was meeting the black girls and all of that, and I never heard from him again after James called me for a while. I didn't hear from him for a while. And then next thing you know, James had the gun, and he said, well, it's just for my protection. I'm from Cali, and it's just for my protection and stuff like that. So I said, it's people trying to kill me. I need to tell you about my life and why I don't want you to have a gun around me. But I said, well, as long as and I told him my story, and I said, as long as you'll use that gun to protect me, then I don't mind you having it. And we went in the hotel room, and he stayed there with me for days. And then his mama and them was calling, trying to get him to come back. But he was over there trying to set me up to not have no money. And he was having sex with me. And they was trying to say that my baby daddy was a black man, and I'm pregnant by my white baby daddy, and my son is with my white baby daddy. And they over here trying to make black men have sex with me unprotected to try to say it was their baby. But we done already got it in the limelight that it ain't here. It ain't none of their baby. And they know it's not. Because I was far along. And so next thing you know, he had the gun right there, and his mama and them was telling him to put it away. And then in all of that, he still kept trying to come after me with the gun. So I called HPD, and I knew that everybody in that house was gonna try to lie for him. So I didn't even tell HPD what happened. I showed them the goddamn video. And 4 black officers showed up, and I was afraid. And I met them right there on the side of the road in front of Chisholm Trail. And I just showed them my cell phone. Hey, you want to know what happened? Here you go. And they seen it. And they knew to arrest his ass. And then they told me to wait in front by the leasing office. And they went over to the apartment and said that he came outside. They was over there for a long ass time. And Dominic started coming towards me. And I was getting scared. Because he had went and bought a gun. 2. And I know how much he said he loved his brother. So I was scared, and I walked in the apartment to see what was going on, and they was all over there congregating. Then they had called a Hispanic officer and another officer, and they came to make the final call. God bless me. They made the final call, and I never seen them bring James out in a damn police car. And they came up to me and said, well, we're arresting him for terroristic threat. I told them, I said, I do want to press charges because I said, I've been through this with my baby daddy before. I said, I have a white baby daddy. I've been through it. He's been abusing me, and I shot him. And I know that you do not just let people keep abusing you. I said, James did not seem like the type of person when I met him to even be pulling out a gun on me and doing all of this stuff. He seemed like such the sweetest guy. And then he just changed. And I said, but I need to press charges on him. And I didn't want to have to press charges on my baby daddy because I'm pressing charges on him for me having to shoot him. And then I'm pressing charges on James for pulling out the gun on me. And so I didn't call the police on Travis Guns when he pulled out the gun on me twice in the house. And I didn't know just how much conspirators were involved to try to keep my baby daddy out of jail because he white. And try to keep Cynthia O'Vera with my baby because she white. Despite all the evidence, they got all these black people trying to sit over here and kill me for them. So I said, I didn't see him coming out in the police car. But they said that they was taking him downtown. I mean, they were going to take him and lock him up for terroristic threat. And they gave me a little piece of paper for that. And I never seen them bring him out. And they said, well, Beverly Raoul said she don't want you in her home no more. We were supposed to move into the apartment in the Wilcox that day. To our own apartment. But they wanted to sit there and try to pull out guns on me and fight me. Because I said I was going to get a mattress in the apartment. And I tell you why it was such a big deal about me not having a mattress. Because they were setting it up over there at the Wilcox to have me in there on an air mattress so they could set me up. So like I was just a prostitute that he met off the damn street. And that's why they wouldn't put my name on the lease. So they could set it up and have me arrested from there while they was going to stage altercations over there. But if I had a bed and showed that I had been living there for months, then how the fuck you going to arrest me? But if they could sit there and make it seem like I had never been living there and that I was just some prostitute that he just met, then they could have me arrested and murdered. So they ain't want me moving in stuff like I really lived there. And they ain't want me on the lease. I never seen them bring him out in the squad car. But since they told me she didn't want me there, they gave me the piece of paper, and then I seen some of the officers pull out. But they said he came out with the gun. They said he tried to lie about what happened, but based off the fact that they knew that he had the gun, they locked him up. That's what they were saying. They was locking him up. So the man who had my suitcase had left, and I called him and told him that he needed to come back with my suitcase. And I was already calling the police on their ass, so I told him, you need to come on back with my stuff. And he said he just made a run. He came back with my stuff, and then he took me to meet a man who had a Mercedes-Benz, and then he was selling cocaine, and then I was telling him I need to get a hotel room. I ain't trying to be around him. He was over there trying to stage arguments, and then he said, well, go ride with him, and I'm going to go get the money for your hotel so you don't have to pay for the hotel, and then so you can save your money, and I stay at you with the hotel. And I told him I ain't having no sex with you. And he said, okay. And then he left with my suitcase, and I was in the car with the dude in a Mercedes-Benz who so-called sell cocaine. And then he started riding around trying to fight with me in the car, telling me he was going to take me to California with him. And I said no, because I ain't going nowhere with nobody and can't get back or end up dead. And then I got out of his car and I got his license plate number, and I said I was calling the police because dude told me he was only going to be gone for 15 or 20 minutes, and he was gone for hours. And the dude took me to a club and tried to sex traffic me to some Hispanics at the club. And then was trying to tell me to denounce Jesus Christ in the car. And I said no. And I got his license plate number. I said, I'm calling the police and I'm reporting you if you don't get your friend to come bring me back my suitcase. So then he called the friend, talking about, oh, fuck her, leave her out here. I ain't gonna give you no more dope if you don't stop messing with her, because she talking about calling the police. We don't fuck with the police. And he was saying, I'll fight for you, I'll do whatever for you, but I don't fuck with the police. I run for the police. I ain't running. Because they're gonna have to face me about what the hell they out here doing and got all these criminals doing to me. So I don't need no black men talking about they gonna run for the police. No, you need to stand with me against the police. You need to stand with me. Ain't no running. And ain't no setting me up with no goddamn police. And so he brought back my suitcase, and then he told me he'll take me somewhere, and there was all kind of men calling trying to get me to come to their house all of a sudden when I left James in them house that I hadn't heard from in months. Trying to set me up to come to their house so they can get paid and so they can get charges dropped, and I didn't know. And I was wondering why the hell all them keep calling me. And if I asked them for some money, they wouldn't give it to me, but they'll tell me they can come let me stay in their house. But I was like, no, I don't want to stay in no more house with no men because of what the hell y'all doing. Because when I was in my hotel room by myself, yeah, y'all can come and get in the room next door and try to stage some shit. But I know them people know I don't be bothering y'all when I'm in my room, so the hell with that. I'm trying to get my own room again. Whatever the fuck I gotta do. I ain't hurting nobody, but I'm going to get some money to be by myself. And they ain't want that. That's why they were trying to keep me without no money. Lord Jesus, help me now. Jehovah, help me now. So the man took me to a man named Cullen House in Clear Lake that I knew. And I told Cullen my situation. I'm out here with my bag and I need somewhere to go. And when I went there, he was saying it was cool. He was going to come cook me some food. He was starving me in the house. The house was so goddamn dirty, you couldn't cook nothing. And there wasn't barely nothing in there to cook. And then I had a few dollars and I had walked to the Burger King. And then all the other restaurants were shut down, but this one wasn't. And I knew something was wrong with that. Why the hell they ain't shut down? And I went up in there and I got me some food. And I came back to Cullen House and I was saying, I took me a shower. He was saying I could sleep on the couch, but trying to make me sleep in the bed with him. And then I was telling what was going on about my case, and I was praying, and I was trying to work on the evidence there. And then he was over there trying to hurry up and stage altercation with me and a woman on the phone, and then trying to argue with me and make it seem like I was causing a public disturbance up in his damn neighborhood. And I said, you brought me out here to sex traffic me. And I said it loud. Because if you feel like you got to put up a front for your white neighbors, then they already knew. But I ain't know you going to bring me out here and try to stage no altercation. And I told him that my white baby daddy did that to me. And I told him what James did to me. And he was like trying to make excuses for them, but I proved my case to him too. And he said, yeah, you right, they wrong for what they did. And then he tried to turn around and do it. And he dropped me out to meet an African man. And the man said he would give me some money, $100 to help me out. And I told him I was going to give me a hotel room. Then when he came and picked me up, he lied. He tried to bring me to his house. And I said no, because he tried to rob me for my money one time at his house. And then he tried to stick a dick in me one time without a condom. And he tried to rape me one time and sodomize me. So I wasn't going to his goddamn house. And then so I went to City Trends. He gave me $40 and I went to City Trends and got me one of them little duffel bag suitcases. And I put my stuff from the big suitcase that I had at James' house in there, and I downsized so I could carry some of my things. Because they would try to have me out there dragging that heavy ass suitcase, or I have to get rid of everything and have nothing and be out there like some dirty ass tramp. So I said no. I'm going to keep some of my stuff. And the African man took it to his house and said, call him and he'll bring it to me when I get settled somewhere. And they were swarming all around me. Black men all swarming, and Mexican men that was all swarming around me. And I walked to the mall. I walked to Greenspoint Mall. And when I went inside of Greenspoint Mall, I went in the bathroom to freshen up and change my outfits. No, I went to just freshen up. I ain't changed my outfit that time. I went to freshen up. And there was black women coming all up in the goddamn bathroom trying to see what the hell I was doing so they could plot on my life. And then a black man met me coming out named JT. And he was asking me, oh, I got some weed. I got an ounce of weed. I ain't had no drugs on me. I didn't give a damn about no weed. And I had my card trying to activate my card so I could post my ass and tell me if you gonna pay me for my time. Y'all ain't finna be out here sex trafficking me. You gonna pay me for my time. And I can advertise myself. And you gonna pay me for my time. And he told me he could activate my card for me because they were trying to make it seem like I was fraud, like they wouldn't let me activate my motherfucking cards no more. And I didn't do a goddamn thing to them. Other than the fact that I had used calling address to have a permanent card sent to because that was my last known address. And I didn't know. I kept getting temporary cards because I didn't know I could reload the temporary card. So they were trying to call me a fraud for that. And that's some bullshit. And that was the only card I could use to post. And I had already done that. It wasn't necessarily that was the only card that I could use probably. But that was the card that I was using. And I needed that card because that was the last money that I had. I had already put my money on that card. And the other card that I had used, they had said I couldn't activate it. So the money was already on the card and it needed to be activated. So I told the man I needed help with that. And I said, but I don't want no drugs. He was like, okay, well, let me call my cousin Shay. He called his cousin Shay, claiming that she was a Lil Boosie girlfriend. And I went to go meet with her. She was dark skinned, and she had some weave all over her head, and she was driving a little bitty car that so-called she claimed Boosie just bought for her. And then she was in a little apartment claiming that Boosie got her that apartment and that he furnished the apartment for her. And so I don't know. I don't give a damn. I don't ride people like that for fame and celeb. So okay, you got a famous boo. That's cool for you. Thanks for helping me out though. And so he brought me to her on the bus. And then it was police officers nearby, and he was over there trying to roll up weed all in front of the police and all of that crap. It took me to get us sold out the store, and I told him, I said, look, bro, the police right there. You need to watch your back, man. You need to watch your back, man. And the other dude was like, yeah, she right, bro. And I didn't know what the hell they was trying to do. So then I went over and I met her at it was an abandoned restaurant where we met, where our old restaurant used to be by Sonic, and we got in the car with her, and then we rode to her apartment, and her daughter, Brianna Wright, was in the house with her kids getting ready in the bathroom because supposedly it was her birthday and she was finna go to the club. And I had my makeup done real cute, and Shay was like, oh, can you do my daughter's birthday? My daughter having a birthday party tonight, and you invited. She turned 26 or 25, and she was like, you invited to come. And I'm 29, so she was like, you invited to come. Can you do her makeup? So that's how I met Shay. So I went over supposedly to go to her daughter's party. It wasn't like I was supposed to be staying with her. I didn't know it was staged. So I went into her home at Trinity Gardens. In the dead set in the goddamn hood. And when I went into the house, Brianna was in there getting ready, and I started doing her makeup, and I did her hair, her little baby edges and everything on a little synthetic wig she had on. And I hooked her up. And I started, I said, well, I'm starting to do makeup. I want to do celebrity makeup and hair. I sing, I do all of that, but I'm multi-talented. Will you be my model? Because she got a body like a model. Will you? I was like, let me take some pictures of you. And I set up her little whatever she had. You know when you do the little background for the pictures or whatever. I set it up. I helped her mama decorate the house for her party. Supposedly her friends were supposed to show up. They didn't ever show up. We went to the dollar store, got her a whole bunch of stuff for her birthday, and her kids was there. And then she said she was going out to the club with her friends and her man, but they never did really go to the birthday party. Supposedly her friend